Hello, everyone. Welcome. Hello, Carla. I just called you Carla. I know. So I was calling you Katie. Now I'm calling you Carl. What is wrong with me? I'm so sorry. Hi, Carla. Thanks for joining me tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. How was your day? Do you have a good day?
A busy day. It's a short week at work. So as you can imagine, trying to squeeze 5 days into 3 days. So it was
right.
busy.
Oh, well, I bet it goes fast. Did you ever make it over to Costco? Speaking of busy.
I did yesterday. And Dawn, let me tell you, I think had I waited probably a couple more hours, I would have run out of there kicking and screaming because it was getting busy when I got there. As a matter of fact, another shopper that was there, she must have seen the look on my face and she's like, I feel you. She's like, I'm right there with you. So
yeah, I was supposed to go back there today, but I was out doing other errands. Hi, Helen. It's so good to see you.
Hi, Helen.
So the plan for tonight is going to be a little bit different. And I'm going to be reading the I can't speak, so we'll see how far I get. The probable cause affidavit. Look, the comment is not covering you up. That's good.
Oh, yeah, because it's smaller.
Maybe, yeah. Okay, so I'll be reading it's basically called the arrest warrant also. So I'm going to be reading that. So I won't be in the chat with you guys, but Carla will. And if my throat gives out, then Carla's going to take over. So we're just going to see how this goes. But what I want to do is have a clean reading of the entire arrest warrant so that if somebody just wants to listen to that without a bunch of interruptions, they can. And then stay on. But if you do that, welcome. Thanks for listening. If you're replaying, that's great. Hi, but do take a look at the live chat, which does replay because that's always super fun. And again, if any questions are there for me or specifically, I'll certainly be chatting with you at the at the end. So we'll see how my throat does. And I thought it was really important to do this kind of surprise live stream because it's kind of like Arraignment Eve, isn't it, for Donna Adelson? We should be getting a notification that she's in custody in Tallahassee pretty soon. It's been about 9 hours since I got my first notification. So imagine that they have made it by now.
How long does it take?
I believe it's 7.5 hours. And that's providing the notification went out when they left. It could have been earlier, I think they keep these things kind of under wraps. I don't remember seeing a notification that read the way this one did. I'm going to read it to you. I'm sure you've all probably seen it, but just before I get started, I did post it under the community tab here too as well. Where is it? It says, Donna Adelson was released from custody. And that was a scary way of saying it. On 11/20, that's today, 2023, November 20th, 2023. And I got this message at 8:52 a.m. my time. So this would have been 11:52 a.m. in Florida, their local time. So it takes 7 or 8 hours it probably depends on traffic and weather and all kinds of things like that. So let's say 8 hours. So by now, she should be getting checked in. Was I the first to post it? Really? Oh my gosh. Well, I didn't know that. I think I saw it on Twitter. I get things late because I'm so much farther behind. So don't come to me for breaking news. I'll do my best. Don't count on that. I'll do my best though.
I think give them 9 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
I think
so that would
give them 9 hours, because they have to stop probably for gas and because it's a bus, right? That transports them. It's not just her.
I heard it was 2 cars, a car and then a security car.
Okay.
So I don't know. Yeah, usually it would be a bus if they were busing, but I don't think they have that many people necessarily, or if they wanted to, I don't know. Yeah. So So a lot of times I don't post things because I think they've already been posted, but I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm just going to go ahead and do my thing. And If I post something that you all know about, great. And if you're getting news, that's great too. I just posted it because I sign up for whenever I'm following any trial, by the way, Carla, any trial, I do like to get the Vine notifications. Like, for example, Lori Daybell.
Yes, I didn't even know you could get the notifications. When you sent me the screenshot, I laughed so hard. I was sitting in my office and I laughed so hard and I said, of course you get notifications. So very interesting. Yeah. I didn't even know.
Hi, Lorenzo. Good to see you. Oh, I'm so glad, Helen. Thank you. And I know you're all enjoying my my creativity this last couple of weeks. Mostly I got into doing the short videos and the mini videos, which I've done before in the past, but more of them because I didn't have a voice to go live. So so maybe I'll just keep doing them too. I don't know. We'll see how it works out. So let me start to get reading here. Carla, any thoughts before we start reading?
Just Sorry. FYI for you, you are cutting in and out at times.
Okay, hold on one second.
Dawn, you are cutting in and out at times, so just...
Okay. I just put on my headset to... How does this sound?
It's fine. It's just at times it kind of pauses, so I think it's just the connection.
Okay. Okay. My connection should be good. My phone is off. It does help to close out other things, which I do. I try not to have too many things open when I do this because StreamYard takes quite a bit of power. Okay, kids, are you ready for your nighttime reading? Is this your bedtime story? This is not a nice story, but you know what's cool about this is it really does tell the story of what happened with Dan Markel. And each time we get an arrest warrant, there's more in a trial, there's more information that we get. So a lot of us have been following this trial for a long time, but there are lots of people who are new to the Dan Markel story, let's just call it. And because Ruth Markel called it a story. I noticed that when she was interviewed on that 2020 show, which I finally watched, she called it a story, and it is a story. But so for those of you who are just learning about this trial, I have like a whole bunch of videos that I can send your way, or you can find on my true crime different playlists. So if you have any questions, there's a lot of people here happy to answer you, help you out, and guide you, because this is a really important case. So let us begin. One more sip. And here we go. So this is dated November 13th, 2023, which is exactly a week ago when we were all sitting here with the news that Donna was arrested. And this is prepared by Leon County Clerk of Courts. Well, it was probably prepared by Georgia or one of her staff members. And it was filed by the court clerk. So it's to the first appearance magistrate, and that would have been wherever she had her first appearance, and that was in this case Miami. The defendant, Donna Sue Adelson, charges first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, solicitation to commit first-degree murder. And the affidavit is basically what this is a summary of offense and probable cause affidavit. They need probable cause in order to do an arrest. So here we go. This affidavit sets forth probable cause to believe that Sigfredo Garcia and Luis Rivera murdered Florida State University law professor Daniel Markel, and the murder was arranged through Katherine Magbanua, Charles Adelson, and Donna Adelson in violation of Florida Statutes, murder per Chapter 782. On Friday, July 18th, 2014, at 11:02 a.m., a report of a shooting was received at 2116 Trescott Drive, the home of Florida State Law School Professor Daniel Markel in Tallahassee, Florida. Upon arrival, Tallahassee police officers found Markel slumped over in the driver's seat of his vehicle from an apparent gunshot to the head. Markel was transported from the scene to a local hospital where he later died from the injuries sustained during the shooting. The investigation of the crime scene found no indication that this incident was part of any other criminal intent, such as burglary or robbery. A neighbor heard a loud bang and looked out his window, where he saw a small silver or light-colored vehicle resembling a Prius backing out of the victim's driveway. He walked over to check on Markel, discovered him in distress, and called 911. Investigators located the victim's ex-wife, Wendy Adelson, at a local restaurant and transported her to the Tallahassee Police Department for an interview. During the interview of Wendy Adelson, she made statements suggesting the murder of Markel could have been arranged by someone on her behalf without her knowledge. Wendy indicated her parents were very angry at Markel and further suggested that someone could have arranged the murder thinking it would help her. She specifically mentioned that her brother, Charles, aka Charlie Adelson, joked about hiring a hitman to kill Markel in the past. She said her brother makes a lot of jokes in bad taste and previously commented that he looked into hiring a hitman, but it was cheaper to buy her a television as a divorce gift. Wendy indicated that she did not think her brother would actually commit this crime. It should be noted that Wendy's mother, Donna Adelson, set a television repair appointment on July 11th, 2014, for Wendy's television to be repaired on the morning of the homicide, July 18th, 2014. Records obtained from Best Buy show a service was completed on her television in the morning of July 18th, 2014, the same date of the homicide. Wendy stated that after the divorce, she wanted to relocate to South Florida with her children. She felt her former in-laws would suspect her of murdering their son since she was denied the ability to move by the court. Wendy filed for divorce on September 10th, 2012. The divorce was later finalized by MSA on July 31st, 2013. July 31st, 2013, excuse me. Investigators reviewed voluminous documents, including emails, text messages, and court documents. The review determined Wendy Adelson and her brother, Charles, as well as their parents, Harvey and Donna Adelson, were determined to have Wendy and the two Markel children relocated to South Florida, where the Adelsons reside after her divorce from Markel. Markel objected to his ex-wife moving his children to South Florida, and on June 20th, 2013, Leon County Circuit Court Judge Hobbs, Leon County Circuit Judge Hobbs, formally denied with prejudice Wendy's motion for relocation with the children. I am going to make a little short pause right here just to go over a couple of things that I noticed. Number one, when Detective Isom asked Wendy in her police interview, this is not in the document, this is me speaking, by the way, just making it clear. When Detective Isom was interviewing Wendy, he asked, would anyone do this? I mean, Wendy made it very clear that everyone she was trying to give them ideas, right? They were all doing it on her behalf. And so Isom asked her, would somebody do this without you knowing? And she said, no. In other words, she said she would know if it was done on her behalf. Well, now we know it was done on her behalf. Now, in this document, it says that she wouldn't know, but that is not what she said. I have a clip from that. It's a little short. The other thing is, a lot of people ask about this, and it does say here in this document that they do have records from Best Buy about the service that was completed on July 18th, 2014. They didn't really need to have those for previous trials. So I don't know if that's new or if any new details will come out. But I thought that I took note of as well. And then there was one other thing. Go ahead.
I can't help but think that based on the breadcrumbs that Georgia was dropping, I think either they have they were able to retrieve, because I keep going back to, but if they've received or they were able to retrieve and go back to all the previous, text messages like that Charlie sent and whatnot back then, why not Wendy's? Why not Wendy's? I think they have something.
Right. Yeah, they have to. Okay, so I wasn't planning to interrupt, but just right off the bat, I noticed a few things, and especially that one thing. And once I'm done, I'll share the little quote of her and Isom in the comments underneath here, so you guys can hear what she actually said. He said nobody would do it. She said no one would do it without her knowing. In other words, she was showing that she was in control. She could say, well, I guess somebody would do it without my knowing, right? She said no. Okay, continuing on. By the way, chat away. Carla's here to help you in the chat until I'm free. After the court's denial, Wendy parents, especially her mother, Donna Adelson, repeatedly tried to convince Wendy to coerce Markel into allowing the relocation to South Florida. Donna suggested the family offer Markel $1 million to allow the relocation, with Donna Adelson and her husband Harvey Adelson contributing 1/3, Wendy Adelson contributing 1/3, and Charles Adelson contributing 1/3. Donna also suggested that Wendy threatened to convert Markel's children to Catholicism, knowing Markel was very observant in his Jewish faith and that the religious practices of the children were of utmost importance to Markel. Wendy Adelson's prior boyfriend, Jeff Lacasse, stated Wendy disclosed to him that Charles had seriously looked into hiring a hitman in the summer of 2013. And he was told it would cost either $15,000 or $50,000. Lacasse also reported that when he was visiting Charles Adelson with Wendy Adelson in the spring of 2013, Charlie Adelson bragged about being connected to a Cuban criminal element. It was learned that around the time of the murder, Katherine Magbanua was involved in a personal relationship with Charles Adelson. Magbanua's cellular telephone number was 786-564-1312. Call records show Magbanua as one of Charlie's top contacts, and text communications confirmed that the relationship was more than a friendship. It was later confirmed by Katherine Magbanua. Charles Adelson enlisted Magbanua, who then enlisted the father of her two children, Sigfredo Garcia, to carry out this murder. Garcia enlisted Rivera's assistants, and Magbanua, Garcia, and Rivera were compensated for their actions. Magbanua was the only link between Markel and the shooters, Garcia and Rivera. Magbanua's only ties to Dan Markel are Charles Adelson and a couple instances where she met Wendy Adelson. The only way Magbanua, Garcia, and Rivera knew of Daniel Markel and his relationship with the Adelson family was through Charles Adelson. While in the interview room, Wendy wanted to call her parents to notify them of the incident. While contemplating aloud as what she should say, she told the victim advocate sitting next to her that her parents were very angry with Markel and described it as a very effed up situation. Wendy then called and talked to her mother, Donna. After notifying Donna of the shooting, Wendy asked her to notify Charles of the shooting so Wendy would not have to do so. After Wendy's conversation with her mother, Donna Adelson called Charles's cell phone at 7:11 p.m., which went to voicemail. Charles then called Donna's cell phone at 7:13 p.m. with a call duration of 5 minutes and 47 seconds. At 7:29 p.m., Charles called Donna again with a duration of 6 minutes and 31 seconds. At 7:36 p.m., Charles called Katherine Magbanua's cell phone with a duration of 2 minutes and 49 seconds. I'm going to take a sip. How are we doing? How's my sound? Am I still cutting out?
No, you're good.
Okay. Even though I know this, it's still hard to read it. It's so sad. Wendy's parents, Harvey and Donna Adelson, made contact with the lead TPD investigator at Markel's memorial service on Sunday morning, July 20th, 2014 in Tallahassee. They agreed to contact the TPD investigator to arrange an interview before returning to South Florida. On the following day, the TPD investigator contacted Wendy on her cellular telephone. Once the investigator identified himself, Wendy claimed to have a bad connection and the call was terminated. Less than 5 minutes later, Wendy's attorney called the investigator and informed him that Wendy left town with her children and parents en route to South Florida. The attorney could not provide a date for Wendy's return to Tallahassee and requested he be contacted for any further inquiries. Harvey and Donna Adelson left Tallahassee with Wendy and the grandchildren the day after the memorial service without speaking to the investigator as promised. Since leaving, no one in the Adelson family contacted TPD or inquired about the status of the investigation. Charles Adelson did not attend the memorial service for his ex-brother-in-law. In July of 2015, Wendy had her children's surname changed from Markel to Adelson. By the way, I am going to interject one more thing here. In Charles' trial a couple of weeks ago, it was said, it was either in the trial or now I'm confusing whether it was a trial or 2020, but at one point it was said that the Ruth and Phil were able to see the boys after the memorial service at the home, but in Ruth's book, she wrote that she was trying very hard to see the boys, and then she called for the day that they left and was informed that they left. So it was very heartbreaking because she didn't get to spend time with those boys. And so that was misinformation. I think it was in 2020 that it was said that they saw the boys and spent time with them after the memorial service. They tried to, but they were denied even then. So sad. Okay, sorry, I had to interject. I can't help myself. Moving on, back to the document. On July 18th, 2014, Markel left his home that morning and drove his two children to daycare on the west side of Tallahassee. Markel drove to Premier Health and Fitness Center. Markel arrived at Premier, where surveillance video shows a silver or light green Toyota Prius enter the parking lot after Markel parked his car. After Markel went into the health club, the video captured the Prius in the parking lot where the driver moved the vehicle to two different parking positions while Markel was in the building. No individuals ever exited the Prius. Additional surveillance video discovered for the day of the homicide showed the same Prius before and after the homicide, including following Markel into Markel's neighborhood immediately prior to the shooting. After analyzing the surveillance videos, the suspect vehicle was determined to be a 2006 to 2009 Toyota Prius with a silver pine mica paint color. The Prius had tinted windows, a SunPass transponder on the top of the windshield, a missing tow hook cover on the front bumper, and a black passenger side mirror casing. It was determined the Prius followed the victim throughout the morning and back toward his residence where the shooting occurred. This suspect vehicle fit the description given by Markel's neighbor after he heard a gunshot and looked out the window and saw the Prius backing out of the victim's driveway. Florida Department of Transportation records for SunPass on Alligator Alley, I-75 west of Fort Lauderdale on July 16th and 18, 2014, had one account listing a Prius as a customer vehicle. The SunPass transponder activity was consistent with cell site data for Rivera and Garcia's handsets travels. The transponder of interest in this case number is 115-257-06-0110 per FDOT records. The SunPass account using the above transponder is a rental company in North Miami, Florida. Law enforcement obtained the rental contract for a 2008 Toyota Prius on July 15, 2014, 3 days before the homicide. The customer is listed as Luis Rivera with a contact number of 305-570-8153 if you want to call. The second telephone number was also written on the rental contract, 786-372-5986. Garcia's phone with the word brother written beside the number. The rental contract indicates the Prius was checked out at 6:15 p.m. on July 15, 2014, and rented to Rivera through July 21st, 2014, 3 days after the homicide. The Prius rented by Luis Rivera on July 15, 2014, contained a GPS device installed by the owner to assist with theft or non-return. The GPS company records have the vehicle location on July 15, 2014 at 10:15 p.m. EDST at the parking lot of 7501 East Treasure Drive, North Bay Village, Florida. This was the location of Magbanua's residence at that time. On July 18, 2014, at 12:26 a.m. EDST, the vehicle was located at North Monroe Street and East 6th Avenue, Tallahassee, Florida. On July 19, 2014, at 1:26 a.m. EDST, the vehicle was located behind 1505 Northeast 135th Street, North Miami, Florida. The address is the residence of Jessica Rodriguez, who was a girlfriend of and has a child with Rivera. Cellular location for data for Magbanua, Garcia, and Rivera is consistent with them being in the area of Magbanua's residence during and around the time the vehicle GPS showed its location to be in the parking lot of Magbanua's condominium. Both Garcia and Rivera met with Magbanua the night before departing for Tallahassee to commit the murder. Do you remember that, Carla, coming out? I think there was some talk of that. Okay. Yeah, because she claimed she didn't, just gave him the paper and she didn't know Rivera was going. So that doesn't check out with this. Sorry, I had to interrupt again. I'll take a sip while I do
I think they very much knew.
I think so too. I forgot about that part. Analysis of Rivera's checking account revealed an ATM transaction took place in Broward County on July 18th, 2014 at 6:46 p.m. as they were returning to Miami from Tallahassee, Florida. Security video from the drive-through ATM lane shows Rivera driving a Toyota Prius up to the ATM at 6:45 p.m. As the Toyota Prius exits the ATM area at 6:47 p.m., a Florida license plate can be seen on the rear of the car, and the tag characters match those of the car rental contract. Cellular records show numerous contacts between Katherine Magbanua and both Charles Adelson and Sigfredo Garcia. On one occasion, telephone records show contact between Garcia's handset and a cellular telephone registered to Harvey Adelson, Charles and Wendy Adelson's father, on July 1st, 2014. At approximately 11:47 a.m., Magbanua's telephone began attempting to contact Garcia's telephone. Over the next 5.5 hours, Magbanua attempted to contact Garcia 48 times. She wasn't triggered, was she? At 5:05 p.m., Magbanua made contact with Garcia, and they had a conversation lasting 6 minutes and 22 seconds. Approximately 9 minutes later, at 5:20 p.m., Garcia's cellular telephone attempted to contact Harvey's cellular telephone. The cellular records indicate this call went to voicemail. Telephone number 786-372-5986 was being used by Garcia prior to the murder and had been in contact with Magbanua's telephone number 786-564-1312 approximately 2,700 times between May 1st and July 19th, 2014, when Garcia's cellular phone ceased activity the day after the homicide. Telephone number 305-570-8153 belonged to Luis Rivera during the time leading up to Markel's murder. The following contacts took place the morning of July 18th, 2014. From 12 to 12:23 a.m., Rivera's and Garcia's handset communicated with cell sites in the area of the Roadway Inn on North Monroe Street, and that's Tallahassee. 12:01 a.m., Magbanua contacts Garcia. The call was over 1 minute. 12:07 a.m., Charles Adelson contacts Magbanua. That call was over 7 minutes. 12:34 a.m., Magbanua contacts Charles Adelson for less than a minute. 1:02 a.m., Charles Adelson contacts Donna Adelson. Ding, 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 ding. 1:03 a.m., Charles Adelson contacts Magbanua, 20 minutes. 8:09 a.m., Donna Adelson contacts Wendy Adelson, 35 seconds. 8:50 a.m., Daniel Markel drops his children off of the Creative Preschool at 2746 West Tharp Street, Tallahassee, Florida. 9:02 a.m., Daniel Markel contacts Wendy Adelson, 1 minute. This is really heartbreaking for me. 9:12 a.m., Charles Adelson contacts Wendy Adelson, less than a minute. 9:19 a.m., Wendy Adelson contacts Charles Adelson, over 18 minutes. 9:38 a.m., Charles Adelson contacts Donna Adelson, 30 seconds. 9:58 a.m., Charles Adelson contacts Magbanua, over 6 minutes. 10:07 a.m., Magbanua contacts Charles Adelson, over a minute. 10:08 a.m., Magbanua contacts Charles Adelson, 9 seconds. 10:09 a.m., Charles Adelson contacts Magbanua, 6 minutes. 10:52 to 10:55 a.m., neighbors hear gunshot and see small light-colored vehicle pulling out of Markel's driveway. 11 a.m., subject on the phone with Markel attempts to call Markel back. Call goes to voicemail. 11:01 a.m., subject texts Markel asking if he's okay. 11:02 a.m., Markel's neighbor calls 911. 11:06 a.m., Donna Adelson contacts Charles Adelson, either attempted call or text. 11:22 a.m., Charles Adelson contacts Donna Adelson, 7 minutes. 11:30 a.m., Charles Adelson contacts Magbanua, 30 seconds. 11:31 a.m., Charles Adelson contacts Magbanua, 5 minutes. Ugh. In the morning of July 18th, 2014, Garcia's telephone ceased activity just before 10 a.m. while in the area of Premier Gym, with the last text message occurring at 10:58 a.m. The next event on Garcia's telephone was text messages and/or notifications being received at 12:29 p.m. Immediately afterward, at 12:30 p.m., Garcia placed a call to Magbanua, which was the first contact initiated by Garcia after the homicide. This call occurred when Garcia's phone was in the area of Lake City, Florida, or on or near I-75, approximately 1.5 hours after the shooting was reported. Approximately 2 hours after Garcia and Rivera arrived back in Miami, Magbanua departed her residence and went to Rivera's residence while attempting to contact Garcia telephonically. While Magbanua, Garcia, and Rivera were together, Magbanua had telephonic contact with Charles Adelson. Magbanua traveled north to Charles Adelson's residence, where she would remain until the following morning. Magbanua stated while at Charles Adelson's residence, Charles Adelson was armed and acting frantic. Charles told his mother and father Charles told her his mother and father had just left his residence and had left money that his mom had washed. At Adelson's trial, Magbanua testified that the money she received was damp and moldy, consistent with being physically washed, and was stapled into $1,000 stacks. Magbanua took a Xanax that was provided by Adelson, and fell asleep. The next morning, July 19th, 2014, at 9:44 a.m., Magbanua left the residence and was told by Adelson that the money was in the trunk of her car. So there's a little bit of conflicting information there too, but communication records in Charles Adelson's iCloud show Donna Adelson telling Charles Adelson she was outside your house approximately 8:59 p.m. on July 18th, 2014. Can I read that again? It just didn't go in my head right. Communication records in Charles Adelson's iCloud show Donna Adelson telling Charles Adelson she was outside your house. Okay, got it. At approximately 8:59 p.m. on July 18th, 2014. Sorry about that. Cellular records for Donna Adelson and Harvey Adelson show an arrival time of 1:25 a.m. in Orlando, Florida, leaving an approximate hour-and-a-half time block consistent with her being at Charlie's residence. Donna and Harvey Adelson traveled to Orlando for the evening and then on to Tallahassee the following morning. Prior to the homicide, Magbanua was employed at a Miami area dental office. Investigation revealed that after the homicide occurred in July 2014, Magbanua started receiving paychecks from the Adelson Institute for Aesthetics and Implant Dentistry, which were handwritten and signed by Donna Adelson. These paychecks started in September of 2014 and were consistently in the amount of $407.58, which she received every 2 weeks. The memo section of each check indicated it was for a period of 10 days, usually preceding the date of the check. The checks continued until at least through April 2016. On at least 2 different occasions, Magbanua received paychecks in advance of the time period indicated on the check and frequently received sequential checks. Magbanua received a significant amount of cash after Markel's murder. In the month following the murder, Magbanua deposited over $13,000 cash. In the 6 weeks following the homicide, she deposited more cash than she did the entire year leading up to the homicide. These numerous deposits were conducted mostly through ATMs in increments of $300 to $2,000. From the homicide through November of 2015, the total amount of cash that investigators identified deposited into Magbanua's accounts is over $56,000. This amount is over and above the paychecks she had received. The investigation revealed that Magbanua did not work at the Adelson Institute. Magbanua was also in possession of and operating a 2001 Lexus LS 430 sedan automobile, which was registered to Harvey Adelson and previously used by Charles Adelson. On July 2016, the title for his car was transferred to Magbanua, and a new license plate was obtained for Magbanua's name. Motor vehicle records indicate the vehicle was sold to Magbanua for the price of $1,700. In addition, Magbanua received cash and numerous gifts from Charles Adelson since Markel's murder. I'll just take another sip here. How are we doing in the chat? Everybody good? Hi, Ellen's still here. Hi, Go Georgia. Hey, okay. Just take one more sip here. Okay. I left off at a review of their financial records indicated that Charles Adelson and Donna Adelson had the financial means to finance this murder and provide ongoing compensation to Magbanua. On April 19th, 2016, an undercover agent made contact with Donna Adelson in reference to Markel's murder. The undercover agent provided a press release of Markel's murder, asked for $5,000, and provided a phone number at which he could be contacted. As a result of this contact, conversations were intercepted. Call 1380, number 1380. Donna Adelson's call to Charles Adelson asking him to meet her about some paperwork that was hand-delivered to her outside her condominium. The Icon in South Beach was intercepted. During this conversation, when Charles inquired whether it involved him or others, Donna responded in a whisper, "Well, probably the both of us." When Charles asked her to repeat herself, she said, "Probably the two of us, and you probably have a general idea what I'm talking about." When Charles inquired further, Donna said this was not something she wants to discuss over the phone. Call 1382. Donna and Charles discussed meeting and whether or not Charles needed to bring cash. Charles inquired whether or not a threat was involved and whether the police should be contacted. Donna responded that at this time she did not believe that was a good idea. Call 1386. Charles Adelson called and immediately told his mother, Donna Adelson, "Don't talk about things in the apartment or any place." He then asked if the person was Black, white, or Hispanic, to which Donna said he was white. Charles said it sounds like something that needs the police. Donna said she may have to, but she wants to talk to him first. When Charles asked what the letter asked for, Donna said, "This TV is probably about 5." Charles asked if they asked for $5,000. To which Donna responded affirmatively. Donna also said they mentioned an ex-girlfriend. I wonder who that would be. Call 1392. I've got to behave. I need to just read from the paper, Dawn. Call 1392. Charles Adelson called Katherine Magbanua after trying to reach her by phone unsuccessfully for about an hour. Charles explained the situation to Magbanua as he understood it from his mother. Something regarding her son, something regarding his ex-girlfriend, and the person asking for some money. Charles tells Magbanua that he is going to see his mom the next day to discuss the matter. There is some discussion of whether Magbanua is the girlfriend referenced by the agent. Charles said he thought his mother said the agent mentioned Magbanua's name, but he is not sure, and he would follow up with her if the situation does involve her. Magbanua agrees to meet Charles in person the next day, April 20th, 2016, around 4 p.m. Charles never contacted any other females to discuss the contact between his mother and the undercover agent. The morning of April 20th, 2016, Charles told his mother he would meet her at home at 12:35 p.m. After Charles arrived at the Icon where his mother and father reside, he and Donna walked outside to a remote table behind the building and sat close together while conversing. None of their conversation was successfully captured. After meeting with Donna in person, he called Magbanua and traveled to her in Sunny Isle at the real estate office where she worked. When Charles arrived at the strip mall where Magbanua worked, they talked briefly outside, then went into a restaurant, Dolce Vita, near the real estate office. Their conversation was captured while they sat in the restaurant. The following statements Charles made directly to Magbanua were previously only audible with use of proprietary software. Through the use of an expert, the audio conversation between Magbanua and Charles was clarified. The following are portions of this conversation. Number one, if they had any evidence, we would have already gone to the airport. The problem is, even if they bugged this, even if they bugged your home phone, but even if they had bugged your phone, okay. But even if they had bugged your phone, okay, you're still not talking about any of this. I could just hear Charles. Number two, so my point is, how do you get people to talk? You throw in a smoke grenade and then you get all the cockroaches to run out. There's smoke in the house. There's smoke in the house, and everyone's running and everyone's talking, and you throw a smoke grenade. What do you think? Wow. Number three, they may have approached my mom because my dad may be someone who is carrying a gun. You never know if someone's, you don't want it to turn into an effing shootout, And I can tell you, a lot of times I carry on me. I mean, someone comes up to me, you carrying on you right now? This is Katie. I mean, I'm going to start carrying one on my back, like, a holster that fits in your shirt. If someone comes up to me, they better be ready to shoot because I'm about to, I'm going to shoot them, not them. Someone comes up to me asking for money right now. Yeah. And guess what? When the effing police show up and there's a doctor, there's an oral surgeon standing there with a dead gang member in the effing driveway, they're not going to come down too hard on me, and I'm not going to talk anyway. I don't know much. I don't trust them. Number four, Katie, this is not like some chick showing off tattoos to your man. This is happening, and it is serious because these people are going to come back. They didn't go through the trouble of seeking my mom out to hand her that and then go away. So I got two options. They're not going away. May wish they'd go away and never come back, but they ain't going away. The trouble they went through. I don't remember that part. Number five, no, it's very simple. Like, if you're going to charge me, charge me. Number six, what I'm saying is that this person is not going away. They came in very equipped with details. Where did the details come from? I don't know the details. Number seven. Two, they said the guy name, they said the guy's name was 2-0. I don't even know who the F that it is. Is there just 2-0? KM Supply's name. Tudo's incarcerated now. And I know you've been helping out Katie and helping your family and helping out Katie and her family. Now Tudo's family needs your help. My mom was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And he goes, well, maybe this will refresh your memory. And he handed it to her. Katie is talking. And he said, respect spoke like polite. She goes, polite and well spoken. I said, did he act like a thug, or did he have a talk with a thick Spanish accent or anything? She said, no. I said, was he white or Hispanic? She said he was white, but he could have been Hispanic. But that, and this is Katie talking now, yeah, could have mistakes. I mean, everybody in Miami is Hispanic, so it's like you can't tell. Number 8. So Katie, they'll be back. These people know about, whoever it is knows information. Number 9, let me ask a question. When everybody was there the next day, did any of you take any money? It's not like you were driving around in a Bentley, cruising around in a mega yacht, some money must at some point, but otherwise he'd have no idea that I had anything to do with. By the way, does he not know what megawatts cost? Because he certainly wasn't paying her enough to buy a megawatt. But okay, I digress. Number 10, it could. I wish it was a cop playing games. Why didn't they know it was me? If it was a cop playing games or an investigator playing games and they didn't mention me, they didn't mention your son's girlfriend, Katie. He didn't mean, they didn't mention your son's, meaning Donna, girlfriend Katie, not mention me at all and my family. And I think if they thought I had something to do with it, they would find me and they would talk to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, go talk to the person who's involved, not people who weren't involved. Number 11. I forgot how much was in there. Number 11, and I'm not involved. But if they knew your relationship with me is with me, not my family, like I dated you, not my mom. They knew my dad's name. This person obviously doesn't even know that we dated. That's the direct connection, is who was her boyfriend, the 71-year-old guy, Dr. Adelson, or the 37-year-old Dr. Adelson. Yeah, 37. Let's go talk to him, Dr. Adelson. That's who they'd talk to, not waste your time with mom. They needed to talk to someone who knew what the F went down. And so wouldn't it make sense that your connection to my family is me? Well, they did say your girlfriend. I thought they said, the undercover FBI guy said his girlfriend. Okay, 12. Your connection to my family is not my mom. Like, yeah, you work for the office now because the checks are from there. And that's just because you come in and work on the weekends, which I trust that you're doing, because I'm never there when I see you. How does that even make sense? I'm never there when I see you. You tell me you don't do it and the place looks clean, so you get your checks. You clean up, whatever, but that's neither here nor there. This person knows information, and even if they are cops, that information said your name. And they also know that they're claiming that somebody who had something to do with it is incarcerated. I don't know anybody in jail. Katie says him. Number 13, Katie says him. Number 14, this is what I want you to do. I want you to call up this person and say that I got a call from some friends of mine who say that you reached out to them and that you mentioned my name. And remember, protect your name recently. So what you're going to say is, I got a call from some friends of mine who said that you had reached out and that you had mentioned my name. These people want to go to the police because they had nothing to do with what you're talking about, okay? And frankly, I don't know what you're talking about, but the name sounds familiar of who's incarcerated. So I'm going to give you something as charity to help the less fortunate. But do not contact these people again, or they're going to the police. And let them know that you had to do everything in the world to prevent these people from going to the police, because they didn't know anything. And I don't know anything. And that the name sounds a little familiar, and that I'm going to help you out with some charity. And don't ever contact me, my friends, or my family again, or we'll go to the police. This is so funny. Number 15. I mean, Katie, I'll go to the moon and back for you. That's without even saying, I don't need to say that. Katie says, but that's what, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Katie, help me out, help me out. Like, you know it, you don't even have to. I know you have. Oh, okay, this is going back and forth. This is Charlie again. Like, you know it. I don't have to. I don't have to sit here and tell you what I would do. I could show you what I could do. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how I am. I'll look for things to do. You don't ask me for squat. I'm the one that's like, hey, Noah's birthday is coming. I got you. I'm the one who's like, anything I can, I don't ask you, just I'm the one who's like, hey, I'll sell you the Lexus for a very good price. I know you're having car problems. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the one who I don't have to tell you. I show you there's a difference. Sheesh. I think my IQ just dropped from reading that. Number 16. I know my head was, when I was leaving the house, I literally had the bag out and I had it with my car keys. I know, well, if you want, you guys can swing by my house later. So what are we doing? Katie is talking. I want you to take it back, write the number down, and I'm going to give you the cash. And I want you to talk to 712. What? 6570. Okay. That was, how's everyone doing out there? Is everyone good? After the in-person meeting with Magbanua, Charles called Donna back to report about his meeting, and he said he is handling everything. Donna then called Charles back, sounding very concerned. On April 21st, 2016, calls were intercepted between Magbanua and Charles in the attempt to disguise their conversation using real estate references such as security, property posted incorrectly, and wrong tenants for rental property. Charles and his dad, Harvey, met for dinner later that evening. In walks Harvey. Magbanua and Garcia were intercepted having numerous conversations over the phone. The morning of April 21st, 2016, it appeared Magbanua was trying to convince Garcia to figure out who the phone number belonged to and place the call himself. In a heated exchange, Garcia said, "I'm not making that effing phone call." He later said, "I'm going to take care of this effing problem, call 825. So this is interesting. I didn't think Sigfredo had it in him to stand up to Katie and to actually be smart enough not to make that call. And I know this isn't new. There's so much to it. Some of this is starting to come back, at different levels in my brain. So on Monday, April 25th, 2016, a letter was sent to Harvey and Donna Adelson. This letter was sent by USPS by investigators for the purpose of follow-up from the undercover's initial conversation. Calls intercepted indicate Donna shared the information with Charles, who in turn forwarded to Magbanua. Magbanua again asked Garcia to either determine who the phone number belonged to or call the phone number. Magbanua reported to Charles the phone was either out of service or not a good number. It appeared Garcia lied to Magbanua about making the call or had not called the correct number. The agent's phone was not called and was working properly after conducting tests to verify. Later the same date, Charles called Magbanua and asked if she was on her way. It appeared Charles and Magbanua had been communicating through a different source to schedule a meeting. Later review of iCloud messages from Charles' records indicate he and Magbanua would often communicate via WhatsApp, a phone application that allows for secure communication not retrieved in a cellular record. Charles directed her to Harvey and Donna's building to meet with them. Charles told Magbanua that he was talking to his parents about everything. Parents, plural, everything. Charles continued to try and convince her to meet at Donna and Harvey's building. This is the part I remember Magbanua talking about recently in her proffer. But eventually agreed to meet with her at another location, because in Katherine's proffer, she said she didn't want to go to their place, to Harvey and Donna's. Magbanua called Charles back, who advised they are meeting at a marina near Monty's. On April 26, 2016, Charles called Donna and they discussed the conversation that occurred the night prior. Donna said she felt better after their conversation. Donna asked Charles to let her know once things are taken care of. Call 1948. He further stated that if you don't know who the person is, it's a much bigger problem. Charles said, if you know who it is, it's very, very easy. Charles told Donna to stop getting worked up about things. Charles assured Donna that there was nothing she needed to worry about and that it was being looked into. Wonder if she's made it to the Tallahassee location yet. Nothing to worry about at all, Donna. On May 4th, 2016, at approximately 2:09 a.m., a text message was sent to Donna's cell phone from an undercover agent. Later in the day, Charles asked Donna if she was okay, and Donna advised she would talk to Charles about it on Sunday. Charles wanted to talk to Donna before Sunday, and they agreed to Charles coming by around 11:30 a.m. the following day, May 5th, 2016. While driving to meet with Donna, Charles called Magbanua, advising there was a new problem and he may need to meet with her later that day. On May 5th, 2016, Charles arrives at the Icon and they agree to meet at the pool area to discuss the text message. This time, Harvey is present with Charles and Donna as they huddled at the corner a corner area for privacy. There was no oral intercept captured due to the location they had the conversation. After the meeting, Charles left the Icon and called Magbanua, KM call 2016, asking her how someone would get his mother's number. Magbanua told Charles it's possible to locate the phone number online. Charles used specific phrases sent via the text message. So it sounds like it's a little more code that they're saying. He's talking in code again. Charles called Donna and they discussed paying the $5,000. Charles advised the sooner they pay the money, the better. They discussed being nice but firm when the money is paid so the person knows that it's only a one-time payment. Because gosh, we have to do this on a budget. On Friday, May 16th, 2016 at 5:03 p.m., Donna successfully contacted the agent by calling his phone number, 305-712-6570. The total duration of the call was 8 minutes and 48 seconds. The call was recorded by the FBI. In summary, Donna made the excuse her grandchildren had possession of her phone, so she didn't know he had called. Donna went over the previous contacts between herself and the agent. She said she took him seriously and she was stressed out. She claimed she asked friends what she should do. She denied knowing anything referenced by the agent concerning help provided to her by the agent's friend, Rivera. She then brought up the reward offered and suggested he seek that out instead. The agent reminded her all he asked for was $5,000. Donna claimed she had nothing to do with the death of her ex-son-in-law and that she was left out of the loop. I don't remember that she was left out of the loop. So there was a loop. So if she's been left out of the loop, she's acknowledging there's a loop. The agent reminded her the problem was not going away, and she did know Magbanua and what was done for her. Donna continued to deny knowledge and ended the conversation by saying she'll call the agent back. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm going to take a quick break here. I just want to have some human contact. Hi, Helen. Oh, how are you doing, Carl? Is this interesting to you guys?
There's like that right there, the loop. So
Yeah.
there is a connection then, so
Yeah. TSP. Hey, hey.
yeah, society
Always.
page. I agree. Me too.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'm out of the loop. Okay.
And
Take a
what's
little
also
sip here.
interesting is she's consulted with her friends. So, really? So you're telling your friends, it's like, Dawn, I'm going to call you out of the blue and say, the strangest thing just
Right?
happened to me. What are your thoughts about this? Are you kidding? Are you kidding?
Yeah, it's just like, didn't she say like 11 or 12 of her friends at one point? I
Yeah,
thought that's
yeah.
what
And she gave like
Mhm.
some weird
Number.
I've talked to 12 or 13 people. What? No,
She
you
had a
didn't.
conference.
Yeah, she you know what? She was in one of the chats that we're in, you guys. And so she was asking opinions of people.
Didn't the
Good
society
Lord.
page, did you do a meme about there or video? Hi, Jason. Hi, Helen. Hi, everyone. I think society page did something on that one. It's pretty funny. Okay.
I've got to watch it. I haven't been through all the videos. I'm
Ooh.
telling you, work sometimes gets in the way of life.
You guys, there's just been so much content though. I mean, it's hard to keep up with everything at this point. So it's really hard. I finally watched that 2020 thing. I don't know why I did, but I was like late last night. I did.
What did you think about it?
It was okay.
Yeah.
I
That's what I
mean,
said too.
I didn't have the need to, it just kind of came up at I don't know, yesterday was football. Yeah. So it came up after football on Peacock. So I was like, oh yeah, I really need to watch this. Okay. We are on page 11 of 24.
Do you want me to read to give you a break?
I'm okay. Would you
Okay.
like to read? Or
It's totally up to you. I'm okay with reading. If you want to keep going, it's whatever you want to do.
my throat feels okay. I did take the the medicine before I started, and I'm drinking Gatorade, and I do have some whiskey here. I think I'm gonna move to that one next. Okay, here we go. Back to it. I'm just hoping. I just looked at my phone too to see if we got a notification about her arriving yet in Tallahassee, but there's nothing. I do not love that it says she's not in custody. That really made me nervous. Okay, call, because I don't remember being worded like that, but I don't know that. I
Talk about shock value.
I was like, what? Did they release her? Or did she do herself in? Like, did she go to the hospital?
Escape?
Or she could have gone to the hospital, but she would still be in custody, I would think. But anyway. Okay, call 3290, May 7th, 2016 at 5:07 p.m. Charles told Magbanua about a new CD he wanted her to listen to, indicating that he had a recording of the call between Donna and the agent. Charles used the reference "Potbelly Pigs Police," to which Magbanua responded, "That's not good." On May 15th, and that was new to me on this trial. I don't remember that at this trial, this recent trial that just happened, the Potbelly Pigs thing. On May 25th, 2014, Sigfredo, I think it's 2016, there's a typo there. On May 25th, 2016, Sigfredo Garcia was arrested for his involvement in this case. On May 26, 2016, the electronic surveillance suggested that Charles Adelson and Katherine Magbanua were in close proximity to each other and may have met in the overnight early morning hours. So that was the day after he was Sigfredo was arrested. On June 28th, 2016, Luis Rivera was arrested for his involvement in this case. On September 30th, 2016, a proffer was conducted with Luis Rivera in the presence of his attorney. This proffer was not recorded. Rivera was sworn prior to any testimony. Rivera stated that he has known Sigfredo Garcia since childhood. Garcia told Rivera about a high-dollar robbery he wanted to do with Rivera in Tallahassee, Florida. The first time Rivera and Garcia traveled to Tallahassee was June 2014. Once they departed for Tallahassee in June 2014 was when Rivera learned that Garcia wanted him to commit a murder, not a robbery. Garcia promised Rivera $30,000 to commit the murder. While en route to Tallahassee, Garcia provided Rivera with more details explaining a woman with 2 kids wanted her ex-husband murdered so she could have full custody of the children in Miami. Garcia told Rivera the offer was presented to him by Katherine Magbanua and the total payment for the murder would be $100,000. Rivera suggested robbing the woman of the $100,000 instead of committing the murder. And I just want to say there's been a lot of chatter all along, but it came up and I can't remember what we were talking, what video on my page it was, but about the lady being Donna. Like a lot of people think the lady's Donna, not Wendy. But it is clear as day here what Rivera said during that first interview. Again, I'm going to read this again just to be clear. While en route to Tallahassee, Garcia promised Rivera $30,000 to commit the murder and provided him with more details explaining a woman with 2 kids, not grandkids. Number 1, wanted her ex-husband. It's not Donna if it's the ex-husband, okay? Murdered so she could have full custody of the children in Miami. So she was in Tallahassee. Donna was already in Miami. So this rules out at 3 different levels that
it was Donna.
The fuzziness about it, right? I think he does refer to the lady. I mean, it can be ambiguous, but when we do go through the proffer, which so many of you want to do, Luis's proffer from 2016 that was recorded, you'll hear with your own ears what he said. It's very clear. The 2 traveled, this makes me sad. The 2 traveled with a long barrel 38 Taurus revolver and a short barrel black 38 Smith & Wesson revolver. The 2 around the victim's residence and followed the victim's vehicle. Rivera recalled Garcia having a color printed photo of the victim with words printed on it. This is in the proffer. Rivera could not recall what was printed. They would only eventually park the car at Winthrop Park and wait for the victim to leave. Rivera would later show investigators where they parked and the routes they took to the victim's residence. They did do a drive-through. Luis with Isom and the Sanford from the FBI and his lawyer. Rivera indicated Garcia told him Magbanua approached Garcia with the offer of $100,000 to be divided amongst the 3, $40,000 for Garcia, $35,000 for Rivera, and the remainder was for Magbanua. Garcia later offered $2,000 more to Rivera. After losing the victim and failing to complete the murder in June, the 2 decided to return to Miami. Approximately a month later, the 2 returned to Tallahassee to commit the murder. Rivera rented the Prius in his name. They arrived in Tallahassee in the early morning of July 17th, 2014. The same morning, July 17th, 2014, they drove to the victim's neighborhoods. This was the day before the murder. While driving around, Garcia involuntarily discharged the revolver through the floorboard of the Prius. Rivera noticed the car started losing power, and they learned Garcia shot a hole through the gas line. And they were able to repair the vehicle and continue traveling. A search warrant was issued in October 2016 for the Prius. The fuel line underneath the passenger side of the vehicle was spliced together, and the corresponding hole was located in the floorboard, consistent with the information provided by Rivera. The following morning, July 18, 2014, Rivera and Garcia traveled back to the area of the victim's residence where they observed the victim leaving the neighborhood. They followed the victim around as he dropped his kids off and went to Premier Gym. As they returned to the victim's residence, the victim turned off Thomasville Road prior to Benton Road. Rivera and Garcia traveled farther down to Benton and entered the neighborhood from the south. As they approached the victim's residence, the victim was pulling in the driveway in front of them. They pulled in behind the victim, and as he parked in the garage, Garcia exited the Prius and approached the driver's side door of the victim's car. Real quickly, actually. Garcia shot the victim twice in the head and then returned to the Prius, and the two left Tallahassee. They traveled north on Thomasville Road to I-10 to I-75, confirming the information previously discovered through electronic data. So Rivera was very truthful, and they were able to confirm things that he said. While driving back to South Florida, Garcia called Magbanua approximately 1 hour into the drive. Garcia told Magbanua, "It's done." Rivera explained he could hear Magbanua's voice as Garcia held the phone up to his ear. During the drive, Garcia asked Rivera to pull over near a bridge and waterway so Garcia could dispose of the firearm.
The law enforcement and justice system there telling us it was very class.
Carla, oh, here. I'm going to mute you. Okay, sorry. I had to mute you. You can unmute when you're ready. I think you have Carla. Yeah. Okay. Where was I? Okay. So numerous attempts to locate this bridge in the waterway were unsuccessful. Upon returning to South Florida, Rivera and Garcia withdrew cash from the ATM in Pembroke Pines, where they were observed on the ATM security camera, then drove to Rivera's residence. The following morning, Rivera received a call from Magbanua. She told him if she wanted the money, he needed to tell her where to meet because she could not get a hold of Garcia. Rivera knew Garcia was at Stephanie Carmona's residence, so he called a friend. That's shrimp. Stephanie Carmona. So he called a friend, Anthony Ortiz, to go pick him up. While waiting to return home, Rivera received a call from his child's mother, Jessica Rodriguez, with whom he lived. Jessica told Rivera that Garcia and Magbanua were at their residence with a package for him. Rivera returned home. He observed Magbanua's white SUV in the driveway. As he entered the residence, he received a package from Magbanua and Garcia. Rivera did not want Jessica to know what was in the package. Rivera then left the residence with Garcia. Rivera described the packages as a stack of $100 bills stapled together. Excuse me.
And Don, very quickly, they never found the firearm, right? Because I believe that they took Luis and they were never able to retrieve it.
They made multiple attempts, but there are so many different waterways, and Luis wasn't super familiar with the area. Sure. I mean, is that something he might have been holding back on? I don't know. But he seemed sincere. I remember seeing some video, even clips of that drive-through. I don't remember where they were. Probably on Mentor Lawyer's page, I would guess. Okay. In July of 2018, contact was made with June Mchinda. Mchinda was a girlfriend of Charles Adelson at the time of the undercover operation, at which an FBI approached. Sorry, I got confused with that. FBI agent approached Donna Adelson. Of relevance in her interview was her recollection of Charles Adelson having stapled money in a safe in his residence. June stated that she followed the case in the news, and when she heard about the stapled money, she found it odd because she remembers Charles keeping his in that way. June also testified that Charles Adelson was acting angry, agitated, and nervous around the time of the undercover operation and Magbanua's arrest. Adelson advised June that he gave Magbanua a car and financed a portion of her breast augmentation. June Mchinda also observed Donna Adelson to be stressed out during this time frame, and Donna Adelson made a statement to June Mchinda that she felt Dan Markel was haunting her from the grave. Now, I just want to say something here in light of this most recent trial. June has testified three separate times, and not during this trial, but the previous one. She said, in a way that only June can do it, she said there were stacks and there was a staple, but when she said staple, it was almost inaudible. That's what the behavior panel would call fading facts. She was trying not to confirm, like she was trying to imply that she might have been mistaken or something like that. She was really trying not to be real clear, to offer some ambiguity about her previous statements about stapled money. She was like, there was a staple, but only she didn't see it was worse than that. And I just saw a clip of that. I can't remember why, but there's various ways that she was a little unclear, let's put it that way. And I was a little surprised at her appearance on 2020. She seemed much more clear about how she felt about Charlie's involvement. And one thing she did say is she didn't want her to be the one convicting him. Well, obviously she's not convicting him. She's not on the jury. She's not a prosecutor. But in other words, what difference does it make if you have facts that are important to this case and somebody was murdered? Wouldn't you want to just give the fact? You're not convicting him. So she still has her emotions really entangled, but she did seem a little clearer on the 2020 show. Yeah.
But I think that was as a result of the backlash that because she's online, she checks, what people are saying about her. And so when they came knocking on her door, I mean, it's 2020, one of the biggest platforms, and she knows that. So I think she changed her tune because of who came calling, because of the backslash, the backlash that she received from the trial.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
There we go. She might have saw a staple.
I might have saw a staple. It was just crazy. Yep. Hi, everyone. How am I doing so far?
Good.
Okay, so we're on page 13. It's quite a story, even though I know it. It's still interesting to me. It's like reading a short story here. Okay, Dan Markel was haunting her from the grave. In July 2021, contact was made with Ryan Fitzpatrick. During the interview with Fitzpatrick, it was learned the two had a falling out in recent years over financial disagreements. He said Charles' entire demeanor changed when Magbanua was arrested. So he confirmed the same thing that June just said. Adelson started putting up security cameras and was constantly paranoid of arrest. During a conversation with Fitzpatrick, Charles Adelson said, "You can get away with murder if you keep your mouth shut." Fitzpatrick also stated he knows Charles staples his money together because he has received money from him in that manner. Fitzpatrick said Charles staples his money in $1,000 increments. In October 2019, Garcia was tried and convicted. He was sentenced to life in prison. In April 2022, after the clarified audio recording from Deutsche Vita revealed Charles Adelson making additional incriminating statements, he was arrested for first-degree murder, solicitation to commit first-degree murder, and conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. In May 2022, Katherine Magbanua was tried, retried, and convicted. She was sentenced to life in prison. In October 2022 and November 2022, the proffers previously mentioned were conducted with Katherine Magbanua. And I was thinking about the day, like a year ago today, we were all waiting to hear from Katie's proffers. And of course, we didn't hear until recently about get a release of those proffers. But remember a year ago how we were feeling about this whole thing? It's crazy. In October 2023, trial for Charles Adelson commenced. On November 6, 2023, Charles Adelson was found guilty on all charges. He is set to be sentenced in November 2023. In Adelson's trial, Magbanua testified that Adelson told her that his mother, Donna Sue Adelson, had just departed his residence at the time of Magbanua arrived on the night of the homicide. Magbanua said the money she received appeared to have been washed. Jail calls after Charles Adelson's guilty verdict include multiple calls in which Donna Sue Adelson is telling Charles Adelson that she is getting things in order, creating trusts, and making sure her grandchildren are taken care of. Donna discusses a plan for a suicide, but also discusses plans to flee to a non-extradition country. Donna Sue Adelson has considerable financial resources to accomplish this. On November 7th, 2023, Donna and Harvey Adelson booked flights to Vietnam with a stop in Dubai. The flight EK0214 departs Miami, Florida on November 13th, 2023 at 8:10 p.m. to Dubai. Flight EK0392 departs Dubai on November 15th at 9:35 a.m. and lands in Saigon at 7:35 p.m. And this, of course, is signed. It says the proceeding is true to the best of my knowledge or belief. Signature, I think it's Jack Campbell. Office of the State Attorney, notarized, sworn and subscribed to me before this day of 13th of November, not before, this 13th day of November 2023. This is the notary's signature, type of identification, Okay. And this cause coming before me as first appearance magistrate. Okay, so Judge Everett is the first appearance magistrate, and having reviewed the preceding affidavit, this court finds probable cause is sufficient, and that is signed by Judge Stephen S. Everett. Now, what else is in here?
I think this is just the rest of the pages.
This is the actual warrant. The previous was the probable cause. This is the warrant, the charge, capital, first degree murder, capital felony, and that's the actual warrant. So which the FBI needed to go get her signatures. In addition, no contact with other co-conspirators. So that means Donna cannot speak with Wendy. And maybe even Harvey. I'm confused. I got the impression that Harvey was named, but I thought it was only Wendy and Donna were named. Well, Wendy's no longer named. She's now been arrested. But so that would mean
Wendy's been arrested.
No, what I'm saying is Donna is no longer named. She's now been arrested.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is Donna can't speak to Wendy. We know that because she's a co-conspirator. She can't speak to anyone who's been imprisoned.
How dare you think that they would speak to each other anyway? She doesn't even read the affidavits. Remember?
It's her
she
mother.
Listens to her attorney.
No. I'm saying speak to her about anything. They're saying
I know, but according to her, she follows the instructions given by her attorney.
I'm just wondering, was Charles named or wasn't he? I was a little confused about that today.
You mean Harvey?
Sorry, yeah, Harvey. Was Harvey named? Guys?
I don't have to let us know because I'm with you. I don't think Harvey was ever officially named as an unindicted co-conspirator.
Okay, so there's a different arrest warrant for each charge. So that's and they're each 2 pages. So that's several pages.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we did it. We did it. There it is. Guys, we did it. May I take a bow? Yay.
Yay.
My throat held up. Thank you so much. Okay, so what's going on in the chat, everyone? How are we feeling?
Oh gosh. So Carol is brand new. Oh yes, Monarch. Me too. I can't get enough of that stare down. She's gonna have to play it before we jump off. It is one of the best shorts I've ever seen. Carol is new to the channel, Dawn. So she's going back to the beginning to listen to it.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we've just been talking about different things throughout.
Carol, I have different playlists to make it real easy for you. So are you going to look at trials, or because I think my recommendation to you, Carol, would be to start with Wendy's police interview the day of Dan's murder. She was brought in, and it says, you know, as we just read in the affidavit that we all know, she was brought in by the police to find out what she knew and to inform her of what happened. And I personally recommend my 10-part series that I did with Katie on this channel. So we took in 1/2 hour increments for each show. And I have it in a little playlist. So I would recommend that police interview, Carol, everybody, it's worth looking at it more than once, but it's the beginning because it's the day of the murder. It's what Wendy said. And Wendy was the one who brought up that her family was, it could have been Charlie, basically. So, and that her family hated Dan. So, and then also what we're going to do next here on this channel by popular demand is going through Luis's proffer. So that was the next thing to happen, like chronologically. So when obviously the murder happened, Wendy gave her police interview. Then there was nothing for a couple of years that we could look at because, as you could hear from this reading of this affidavit, things didn't really come together until 2016. So 2016 was Luis Rivera's proffer, and it's 2 hours, but really there's only about a 1/2 hour of that 2 hours that has the meat. A lot of it is just, you'll see, but we're going to be doing that next. But I do have a recording of it here on my channel as well. So everything's here that you might need. Just ask us. I can put it right in the chat if you want links. Tennis girl. Okay, let me come at you. You keep doing you, Carla. I got to come up and say hi to everybody. I'm going to go all the way to the top. Tennis girl says that's going to be great. What did you think? Did you learn anything new? I just picked up on a couple things. I tried not to interrupt. I tried to just do a straight reading, but it's really high. It's really hard. It's not easy for me to just not put my opinion in there. So hi to Helen. Hi. I know you've already said hi. I said hi earlier, but I want to get through. You made it. I'm glad. Oh, it's really hard for me to, what? Why won't you go back? Hi, Munira Sultana. Am I pronouncing your name? It's so beautiful. Isn't that a beautiful name? Munira. Esther Soto, Rosie Soto in Bakersfield. Oh, a California girl. I love it.
Yay.
Well, Carla and I are in California too. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you can rewatch. Do you guys? Okay. So just go on my main page at Dawn DeKisto and you'll see different playlists. You can also use, a lot of people don't realize that you can go to someone's page. So if you go to YouTube /@ Dawn DeKisto, and I have that like everywhere so you guys can find it. It's probably not here. I said that, now it's not here. You can do a search and it searches my content. So you can just put in Luis or Wendy or whatever you want to look for. So yeah, and Mentor Lawyer has a lot of vids too, but I do things a little bit different, but all of them come from Mentor Lawyer, and with his permission. We talked about it before I just started doing my stuff. So yes, Mentor is where I got the videos, but we go through them in great detail. And I now have a list of shorts, 50 reasons that Wendy is suspicious, basically. And it's all shorts. It's like 140 or 50 shorts. So I love that. Hi, Esther. I'm so glad that we have Antennas Girl, Carrie B. The court camera work was so good. It was so good. It was so good throughout the whole trial. There's so many things I could make videos about. Yes, he has June's interview, her testimony, and she did. Also her police interview. Yes, it's. I think there was just audio on that, not video. Yep. I haven't covered that at all. He has that. Yep. But I think you might enjoy the way Katie and I go through the interrogation. I call it interrogation, the police interview. It's pretty fun. I can't scroll for some reason, you guys. I'm going to go on
of Wendy's, right? The 10-part one? Yeah.
Yep. Let me do it from here because I'm having trouble scrolling. So I want to say hi to everybody, but it's not letting me.
Esther is also a new watcher. So yay, Esther.
Good for you, Esther. I love that. My dental hygienist, I went to the dentist today and she follows my channel. I'm like, hey, the periodontist got convicted. She was following it. She's following some other true crime too. So shout out to Ashley if you're going to watch the replay. Okay, let me give you guys some. Here's this one might, instead of going through the whole 10-part series, you can do the shorts. Copy, and then I'm going to put it in the chat. Where am I? So okay, so this first link is the 100. So it's like little shorts that came from that 10-part series from Wendy's interrogation. And then I'm going to put in the chat Luis's proffer, but I'm only going to put in the little 2.5-minute video where he says the really main part, but we'll be going through, there's more on that. There's like a whole 2-hour, it's all audio. I had the video from it, but there really wasn't much to look at because it was a camera like way up in the corner of a room. It was really like a messy room. There was a printer. It was just all these guys sitting around. Luis, his attorney next to him. It was Detective Isom, who you can't even see. You can kind of see the top of his head a little bit. And then the FBI agent Sanford was on his left. And then there was a woman at the other end of the table. It was like a kind of a larger conference type table. And I don't know where she was from. I'm gathering she was from Georgia's office, but I'm not sure. She might have worked for one of the attorneys or the FBI.
No, I think she's the same one who in Katie's proffer, also that you can see on ML's channel that Katie said to the other guy, I feel more comfortable speaking with her. I think that's her.
That was who was she?
She's from the state attorney's office, from Georgia's office.
So then that would have been my guess because we had Luis's representation. We had the Tally Police, we had the FBI. So that's why I was saying the one on the end would most likely be from Georgia's office. Yep, that makes sense. Sense.
Yep. Cool. And Luis's attorney practically laying down on that chair. Good Lord.
But that attorney was so good. He did his job, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, 100%. He was a sloucher. Chuck, he was his name. Taylor? What was his last name? Do you remember? He's good.
Sigfredo's attorney keeps coming to mind. So no, I don't remember his name.
Okay, so I'm going to copy and paste. Sorry, this is taking me forever. I shouldn't do it this way, but I'm doing it. So the next thing I'm going to paste in the comments is going to be Luis's proffer. So now first you've got Wendy's in shorts. So Wendy's police interview from 2014, July 18th. And then you're going to have the only thing that was said by anyone was Luis over 2 years later, over 2 years later. So those will be the first ones to kind of get you started, because now you've already heard this. You've heard this and you can visually see it and read it. And I think I posted this in my community page. If I didn't, I will share the PDF for you guys. I got it off the Tallahassee Democrat, and I have a subscription. I subscribe to the local channels when I'm following a trial, because I like to support the local reporters too. So, oh man, I'm glad my throat held up. Yes, that was Sigfredo's first. What are we talking about? Sigfredo's. Oh no,
Luis.
No, that was Sigfredo's. Esther. That was
Sam. Whatever his last name.
Whatever his last name, right?
Yeah.
Chuck Taylor was Luis's. He never came. He might have been sitting in the courtroom when Luis testified, but he was hired, and he's the one who got him the deal. And
that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Oops.
I kind of agree with Eileen. She said Donna will avoid trial and plead guilty. I keep going back to that. Sam, yes, Sam. Thank you, Helen. But I kind of agree.
Society page got who going? Society page got who going?
We're going hard.
Okay. Oh, you tried the post. Yeah, I have fun making those. They're a little bit of work, but I'm having fun with it. And I think I mentioned to you all that it was a society page who kind of encouraged me, because she came out and was doing, her page, he or her, I don't know who, I call her, so I just assume. Me what?
That society page got you going.
Oh, got me going. Okay, good.
Yes.
Okay. We've got all these conversations going. Yeah. So she started doing her videos, which are just fantastic, right? We just love those. And mine are different. And I said, I kind of want to do more videos. I just have never gotten around to it. But yours are so great, and I was going to be just more like, I'm so glad she came on to start providing that for our community, right? And she was like, anyway, and I think you guys know the story. I've been sick and I didn't have a voice and I couldn't go live. And plus I was on Mentor's page, during the trial, because he was going live. So I was like, I'm going to make some videos. Let me try my hand at this. Now, I've studied art and I've studied animation and video stuff. That's never been my job, but I'm having a blast making them. So I'm glad you like them. It's just whatever comes to my head for the day. They're not necessarily related to one another. They're just like little gems from the most recent trial.
Oh, the society page is a he. Oh, okay.
I thought so, but I didn't want to say. Who said?
Helen.
Oh, is society page gone? I love it.
He was on here earlier, so maybe so. Yes, he's gone. Let's see. Other comments. I wonder if Donna isn't going to try to save Wendy, but I don't think the state will deal with Donna. I don't either. I agree with, I'll be the judge. I agree. They have too much.
Yeah, she can't. I don't think there's any rolling back now. I think this train is moving forward, and they're going to prosecute. They're going to indict anyone who they think they can, that they have evidence on. And from this reading, I'll tell you one of my biggest takeaways is there is more confirmation that Harvey was involved and that Charlie had told him everything. So even if it was accessory after the fact, and I think it was Carl Steinbuck who said that as a mother and as a grandparent, they would have the responsibility to inform the children. I don't know if that was before, though, so they could be charged for not preventing them from losing their father, basically. But after the fact, for sure, and quite frankly, a 10-year sentence for somebody that old, it would be a big deal. It would go a long way in justice for Dan's survivors. Even if they can't, they don't have to get him on things they don't have evidence for, obviously, but they don't have to charge him with murder and conspiracy and all these other things. So Carol says, I don't think Jean is going to try and save anybody but herself if she can't throw Wendy or Harvey under the bus or anything, but she will battle. Doesn't care about anyone else. She had to win. Yeah. So Carla, okay, let's take a poll. I need to do a poll here, actually. Carla doesn't think Wendy's going to make it to trial, but not because she doesn't want to fight, but she thinks she's going to physically.
Donna.
Yeah. Who did I say?
Wendy.
Say? Oh my God, I'm sorry.
But that's okay, because you're putting it out into the universe. So say Wendy all you want.
That's who I've got on my brain. Yeah, Carol, you meant Donna, but I knew what you meant.
Yeah.
And they made their escape plans right. I mean, how stupid too. But I think she's a fighter. I think she's feisty, and I think her attorney's going to tell her if that she should, because mistakes can happen during a trial. Mistakes can happen during an investigation. They are there to hold the state to their responsibility. If they arrested her for this, if they indicted her for this, they need to prove it in court in front of a jury of her peers. So chances are she will go to trial. I am not under so I believe she'll go to trial. No, I think what I was saying is I think there's also, I don't know, I'm 50-50. I think there's a really good possibility, because of her age and her concern for those kids, that she would not go to trial, not because she's not physically well, but because, or alive and able to do it, but because by going to trial, more information gets out there and possibly could put Wendy or Harvey at risk for more probing and more, right? Because she didn't want to even sit down for an interview with Georgia.
Yeah.
So you think she's going to want to sit there and go through a trial? No. They're going to try all they can. I mean, they, meaning Harvey and Donna, are going to try all they can to the buck stops here kind of thing. And I think the easiest way for that to happen is for her not to go to trial and just plead guilty. And never speak never speak. That's my thought. Because they're that spiteful and nasty.
Well, or, I mean, like Charlie, right? Charlie thought he could talk his way out of anything, and his ego really is what drives him and them. So if she makes it that far, I think that she will definitely be driven by her ego.
Okay. And Helen's agreeing with you. She's saying, Helen's saying she'll plead. It would be too embarrassed for her. So by pleading, she would have to admit she was guilty.
And by pleading, she would have to, they would have to cut a deal with her. And I think she's pissed off the state so much that that's not even going to be on the table.
No, it's not. It's not. She's just going to have to. She doesn't have to. They can't make her.
True, Carrie.
They can't make her. Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. She's not that old. I mean, she's fine. She's fine. Tennis Girl says, I think she's going to blame it all on Charlie, since she's already convicted with no chance of getting out. They may have agreed on that too. There are going to be a lot of prison phone calls or jail phone calls that we might be able to hear it if she has a trial, or even if she doesn't, they might release some of those. Carol Johansson, it won't do any good to blame it all on Charlie, because they already have him convicted and they had enough to bring an indictment for her as a principal to the conspiracy. So they got the goods. Yeah, that's true. Good point. So I'm 50-50, but let's just put it this way. I would not be at all surprised if there wasn't a Donna trial. And I'll be the judge. I finally am able to scroll. I wonder if Donna isn't going to try and save Wendy, but I don't think the state will deal. I agree. They're not going to deal. They want Wendy. She was the reason. She was the main beneficiary of all of this. Yeah, I don't think so. It's past your bedtime, Carrie B. Yeah, we started a little late. I just wanted to get this done, so you can maybe replay it tomorrow. I think it's worth it. Wasn't it interesting to read through that, Carla?
Very. There's a lot of pieces that, there's just every time, and I mentioned this to you earlier, Dawn, I watched just maybe 5 minutes of Wendy testifying, and I caught little subtle pieces of her nodding in agreement when the answer that was coming out of her mouth was no. Correct. So at every turn, there's something. But very fascinating comment by Esther N. If you can scroll down. Hi, Clarissa.
Oh, you can't pop it up. Okay, hold on. Let me.
No, I can't.
Okay. Let me try to go back. I got up.
I mean, fascinating, you guys, what she found, the interview on YouTube.
A lot of nodding up and down with Katie when she was saying no too, and I want to go through her testimony as well. Okay, I'm trying to get through all the comments. Okay, where is Esther? I found an interview on YouTube of Maricel Descalzo. Yes, Donna's attorney from 2 weeks ago. She mentioned, and she was also the attorney present for Donna's whatever. I guess it was an arraignment in Miami on Tuesday. From 2 weeks ago, she mentioned she's co-chair on her first murder trial, a cold case. It must be Donna, and that was before it's not a cold case though. Oh, before his arrest. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
She mentioned she's a co-chair
on her
first murder trial.
Must be Donna, and that was before the arrest.
So she was the co-chair. She doesn't seem to know her way around criminal law. Mm-hmm. So I'm fairly sure she's going to get a different attorney. Correct. Carol, Wendy admitted that the picture with Katie was at the beach was Father's Day. And Katie, I think I brought this up last time I was live. Katie, oops, let me unhide Carla, sorry. Something's going on where it's supposed to be not hiding. The comments are not supposed to be in front of Carla's face, and it's driving me bananas, but I'm working on that. Katie mentioned, I thought she was talking about that birthday where Charles invited her to come and she didn't want to go in. But then in this affidavit, it mentions the other time after the bump that Charles wanted Katie to come in to Charles to Harvey and Donna's apartment, and Katie didn't go in, which is interesting. What did she think she's going to get murdered or something? I wouldn't like, why didn't she want to go in? Katie was, and she didn't make that call that he told him to do, and Sigfredo didn't make the call that Katie. So this is what happens when you have multiple people conspiring for crime. They're starting to suspect each other. I think there was some paranoia on all the way around with one another at that point. Clarissa, What did I miss?
Yeah, murder will do that to you. So
yeah,
sure.
Well, conspiracy will do that. Okay, I miss Claire. Yeah, that'd be great. But it would be really hard to deal with because we have a case, Carla and I alluded to this a couple times, that we have a case that's a trial that's coming up against a husband who murdered his wife. And allegedly, that's what the trial is.
That's right.
His attorney, you guys, makes this woman look like she's the best criminal defense attorney on the planet, like Jose Baez or something like that. She's such a mess. I am just like, I don't know if I could I couldn't handle her during the hearings. The judge was so nice to her, but it was like, come on. There were times, hey Julia, there were times that judge was like, so yeah, I don't think there's no way she's going to have her be her defense attorney. Julia, I would love to see a guilty plea so Dan's family doesn't have to go through it before trial. But what about the 5th and 6th people? Yes, I agree, Julia. But I just would hate for it to preclude the other. If she pled guilty, she might be convinced by her attorney that pleading guilty might put Wendy and Harvey in more of a risk to be prosecuted, so, or to be arrested at least. So I don't know. It could go either way. Obviously, we don't know. We're just speculating, but it could go either way. But you're right. If she pled guilty, and then I think if she pled guilty, wouldn't Harvey plead guilty if he was then arrested? I mean, how would he not?
Depends on what he's arrested for. But I will tell you this, if she pleads guilty to save Wendy, just when I think Donna couldn't be a worse mother, she would take the cake with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Carrie B unfortunately has experience with an evil matriarch narcissist, and I'm sorry to hear that. Donna is not embarrassed.
She's mad. Yeah.
She is angry.
State. Yeah. Absolutely. Oh, those are very valid points.
Yep.
Very
same
valid.
with Carly. I don't know that he was angry at the state, but he was like, that's their MO. That's a good point.
June's interview can be interesting depending on June's, I guess, mood and what she's thinking in the moment, because in 2020, she came across as this credible, someone who I told her, watch the 2020 interview or the 2020 episode and let me know your thoughts on the case. She really has no idea about the case. She said about June, the ex-girlfriend, very credible. And I said, now I want you to watch this piece of testimony. And she said, oh, wow, it's like two different people.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. Well, Surviving the Survivor has a 7:45 a.m. our time. So I think it's 10:45 a.m. to Miami time, or Tallahassee time, let's call it, for tomorrow in anticipation of an arraignment. So I don't know what their contacts are telling them or their sources, but I still don't have a notification from Vine that she's arrived yet. So, and what can happen is higher profile cases will limit what they're telling you through the Vine app. So if too many people are asking for information, or if it's got so much I mean, at this point, this case is now finally getting the national attention it kind of deserved all along. So it may be that they're not giving us the updates until long after she's safe and secured into that new jail home that she's going to have for a home for a while, until she either goes to trial or pleads or whatever you said she might happen to her.
She just looks unwell to me, but that's just, the initial picture. I don't know. Or maybe, just a void in the eyes. I don't know. There's nothing there. Like when you look at her, but as I like to say, it's a smug shot, not a mug shot. So we'll get a new one tomorrow.
Yes. Well, I really did like the turtle vest, the turtle suit, because I swear when my quarterback came out and did his press conference yesterday in his little green sleeveless shirt, I was like, oh my God, I just can't. I had to put a little Packers cap on that lady, on that Donna Granny's head, little grandma with a Packers cap. I'm sure she'd appreciate that. Oh, the hyperlink is not showing on the two videos.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it should be. Okay, hold on. I'll put them once we're done with this show. Once I close out, I'll give you a link, because I have shortcuts to those too, like Bitly's. So I'll give you. Tell me which things you're most interested in. Are you interested in the playlist for Wendy's police interview the day of Dan's murder, and Luis's interview / proffer in 2016. Are those the two things? And if there's anything else that you want me to organize and put a link in the comments, it won't be in the chat, but after I close out, I'll put it in the comments under this video. Let me know whatever you want, and I'll make sure that I can put those together as soon as I finish out the chat. Jade, hello.
Dawn, I think Esther was referring to the hyperlink for the video of Marisol Descalzo, what she mentioned earlier.
Oh, okay. Jade, welcome. Monica Jordan. Yes, I love Monica Jordan. It's the private eye who in the Louis. Oh, so she was the one.
Oh, got it.
Right, yes. Of course. Thank you, Jade. I forgot about that. Yes, she's really good too. Chuck Taylor, his attorney, even though people complain that he was slouching, he was great. And she's just, I love her. She's got to be one of my favorite guests on Surviving the Survivors. I mean, I don't know why, I just love her, but I do. Okay. Yeah. Helen agrees. Okay. Carol, don't mean the Georgia, Jack, or Sarah, any of those people. Just think that there was some political influence somewhere very high up that kept the Adelsons. Possibly. There's a lot of rumor about that. I wouldn't be surprised, but whatever it was, those people come and go, and they're gone now. So here we are.
Well, there definitely is, because Wendy's godfather, the Judge Weinstein. So there definitely is people.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yep. We'll take a look. Thank you, Esther. We'll take a look for that. For anyone else who wants to check out her interview. She really needed some help in Miami. She did not know what. And the judge was very gracious to her. That's not her specialty. That's not her thing.
But nonetheless, you're in the same state. Why would you waive extradition? I mean, we're not attorneys, and that's just, I don't know. I found that pretty, law 101, law for dummies. Like, you're in the same state. What do you mean you're going to waive extradition? You don't really have a choice.
From Miami to Tallahassee.
It's like
unless she was just trying to dot her I's and cross her, I don't know. She just didn't want to make any mistakes.
I don't know.
The impression I got, but I know she looked pretty. I know. Yeah. I try not to dump on people too much. I think that Georgia was helping to stir the pot between Charlie and his mom and Wendy when she was asking, "Aren't you mad at Wendy for exposing everyone? Aren't you mad about this?" And yeah. Well, and I had the same question when I heard her in that interview. Like, what is Charlie going to think when he sees this police interview, which has, by the way, been in the public realm for years, thanks to Mentor Lawyer, but no doubt he had seen it, right? So what do you guys think? I mean, sure, she might have been stirring the pot, but don't you think the pot, like, what do you think Charlie is thinking about? When is Charlie really protecting Wendy? I mean, you think
or is Charlie protecting Donna, as he always has?
Mama. But she's like, he called her old 10 years ago, right? She wasn't that old. She's really not even that 72. She's still not that old. 72 is the new 50, right? And you agree about the Castigar. Yeah, okay. I'll be the judge says this whole thing is on Castigar is Wendy's defense team gamesmanship, wanting to look at everything the state has on her. So I
agree.
So forcing them to disclose. I don't think they have to disclose anything, though. I don't think they have to disclose. Whatever they have on her is from her testimony. And that's public, not like that's in the public realm. I don't think they have to disclose anything additional. I think it's lawyers preparing her for the worst and making sure, like, because people get off on technicalities, and I mean, they're not going to give in on anything. Wendy is going to have a team that's not going to, they're going to be serious, right? And she has to. She would be silly not to. What's interesting is she did it so quickly. She did it immediately when Donna was arrested. So, I mean, she should. She's an attorney. She should be checking out all of her options. But I don't think they have to disclose anything. It's not like it's a trial where they're right. Impelled.
Discovery. Yeah.
They don't have to.
And by the way, fun fact, castigar in Spanish means to punish, except that it's spelled with a C, not a K. So the universe yet again giving us another sign.
Yeah, I got some clips of Charlie and I haven't shared any. Okay, so this is probably where I'll go next with my shorts, because there's a lot of interesting dynamic between Charlie and Wendy that a lot of people were wrong. I mean, people were saying this and that, but they weren't seeing like the little glances. I mean, I did a couple little references to her stolen glances, but the biggest impression I had, tell me you guys, I mean, you've been watching my videos. I keep putting that like ghost of Wendy walking off the witness stand and out with the smirk on her face. And I've been putting that in a lot of videos, just like it's transparent, just kind of floats through and randomly. And people are like, what is that, Wendy? Like, you're going to see what I mean eventually, because there is a dynamic there. I felt like it was a look between a brother and sister who have gotten by with murder their whole life and gotten by with everything they could their whole life. And I really don't think any of them thought he was going to be found guilty. I think they really thought this crazy story that he put together was going to sound okay to normal people, but they're not normal. We are, and it didn't sound okay. It was like, no, that's not, you're not doing that. It's not. Clarissa says Castigar won't help Wendy. There's nothing she testified that wasn't in evidence before. Right. In fact, in my opinion, her testimony hurt Charlie's case. She didn't fool the jury. Right. Right. And yep. Yeah. That's right. It's like the ghost of Wendy. Creepy Wendy. It gave me like such a, I was like, what did she like? I had to pause and replay it a couple times, because what was her face doing right there? And there were a couple of times she looked over. One time when Georgia was asking, I think, very preliminary, preparation type questions. She asked, was Katherine Magbanua one of his girlfriends or something like that? Very basic. It wasn't, did she do anything or anything like that? And she looked over at him. Yeah. It was kind of like, yes, like it was really kind of heavy,
defeating.
But like, but to that, on that one, it's like, I mean, I really do wonder how much she knew. I'm sure they protected her and insulated her, and that's what they do with her in general. So I don't know. I know she knew enough to prevent it. I know that for a fact. Okay. I'm going to say a fact, in my opinion. She knew enough to prevent it.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree.
I think that she found, whether it was right before or days before, but she did not have the courage to stop it, because they don't really stand up to Donna. It's what Donna says, and that includes Harvey. And the reason why Rob has been exiled essentially from that family is because he decided to, after he did what Donna wanted and it didn't work out, he decided to follow his heart. So I agree. So tomorrow's the day. It's going to be quite interesting.
It's going to be interesting to see her again, see how she's doing there over after being a week and sleeping on
of her future
concrete floor with a steel bench and a toilet and yeah. It's going to be interesting.
Murder will do that. So
yeah, she made her bed. She made her bed. Yeah, I don't see it as Donna did this without Wendy's permission, though. There's no way.
100%. Hey, Mona. And hey, Mona.
And hey, Mona, one of the West Coast folks. My judgy self has decided Wendy orchestrated the entire crime. Yeah. Oh,
Completely
for sure.
agree.
Ditto.
Completely
Yeah.
agree. Yeah. In her passive aggressive way, she pushed Donna's buttons. She knew which buttons to push, and Donna took it from there.
Yep. That's all. It's not only gamesmanship, but there's money to be made from this family. So let's be honest. The lawyers are going to cash in, as they already started to do, and as they should.
Sure.
These people,
yeah.
Can you imagine working for this family? Ugh, they could be the most high maintenance Karen type of family. Hey, Mona says the bumpy drive in cuffs and a turtle vest. I know. I was like, are they going to put a little diaper on her so they don't have to stop like they do with old people? And that's terrible. But I remember, okay, I was thinking about this today, thinking about her being transported. Remember when Lori Dave Bell, whatever her name is, was being transported to Boise so that she could go on trial because she was in that little town in Idaho, and they had video of her stopping like at a gas station.
Yes.
Using
yes.
Because it's a 7-8 hour drive. Are they going to stop? Are they going to stop her? Or are they going to slap her in a diaper? That's where it came from.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's right. She stopped at some off the beaten path convenience store. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was like, oh yeah, just come on. It's like a normal person. Just go use the restroom. I mean, I'm sure they watched her, but I would not put it past Donna to like make a run for it, like at one of those stops. Maybe that's why we haven't heard the update yet. She's up there. I know.
She's going to try to be like Caitlin Armstrong, who tried to escape.
I know, right? She is. I see that.
Love that jingle.
What jingle?
The one that Mona sang. 1 Adelson, 2 Adelson.
Oh, I
3
missed
Adelson,
it.
4.
Oh, okay. Tra la 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 la, slam the cell door. Oh my gosh. Get them all, please.
And if you scroll up, I'll be the judge said GC asked all her questions very carefully for this reason. So many said, why didn't Georgia follow up or hit harder with Wendy? Yep, there we go.
Right.
She asked only what she needed, saving it for, yep, I agree.
Correct. I know a lot of people want her to just like duke it out and give everything, but no,
that's not her style. And that's not her style.
That she doesn't have to. You're only going to do as an attorney, you want to be efficient with what you put out there, right? There was things that she was asking that I'm surprised didn't get objected to. It's just like, what does this have to do with Charlie? This is all about Wendy and Donna, right? And I know that Rashbaum could have objected on some of it, but he didn't. So he knew the writing was on the wall. Yeah. He knew. What do you all think happened between Rashbaum and Charlie toward the end of that trial? You saw like Rashbaum, I noticed like Charlie was sitting here and Rashbaum was like, talk about leaning over in your chair. He could not get far enough away from him. Did you notice that? Especially when it came to the verdict being read. But do you remember that? Charlie was trying to say things and he's like, not now. I remember one time Charlie was trying to do a little Post-it note when June was on the stand and it was like Rashbaum took the note, took the pen, took it away from him like he was a kid, like taking his kid's, pen and pay, like, no, just whatever it was. He was like, shut that down. Yeah, diaper. Oof. Can you imagine sitting in okay, you guys. But the dynamic between Rashbaum and Charlie was really kind of weird toward the end there. And I that's why I wrote in my, was it probably a one of my shorts, that it was too late to plead. Charlie wanted to still get out of it. So, well, kiddos, I'm so glad we got through the reading of the affidavit. Yes. Okay. I'll do that. It was kind of wild. It really changed.
The dynamic changed.
Totally. Yeah, it really changed. So I don't know what happened, or if it was just he was tired of dealing with him. Maybe Charlie said things he wasn't supposed to on the stand. I don't know, but something happened between those two. So
I think it's just Charlie being Charlie. He loves to talk, and he probably talked to the point that he just said, like, enough. And I agree, Mona. She said, I'm not a lawyer, but could find so many objections during Georgia's cross. Yeah.
Right. And he was not. So I really felt
Yes.
that Rashbaum's job was not to get Charlie off. It was to protect the family.
I do too. I agree.
Maybe Charlie realized it. That's why I think on the video I said the moment Charlie realized he was no longer useful to anyone, including his family.
Yeah.
Which is really sad. It's harsh, but it's true. Okay, guys. Well, I think I've pushed my throat as far as I can go. I so much appreciate, Carla, you sitting through this with me, and all of you being here. So glad we read through it, because I was going to read it anyway, and I'm like, why not read it out loud? And that's just one of these things I kept wanting to do, and nobody else did it. So I want to have like an audio version. So we will see you all tomorrow somewhere in someone's chat, right?
Right.
I mean, I might go live if something crazy happens and I just can't help myself, but I don't plan on going live tomorrow. I usually don't on Tuesdays. So it was so nice. I love our chat. I love how everyone's respectful and funny and fun and loving, and I just really love that about this community so much. So I'm going to be getting up early tomorrow. I'm going to go to bed early and get up early, so I'm up for Eastern time, whatever happens. And then if I get a notification even if it's in the middle of the night, I'll put it on the community page. So thank you so much, all of you, for being here. Oh, do we need to see that stair real quick? Okay, I promised you that stair down. So let's look at the Louis before we go. Oops.
It's good. If you haven't seen it, you want to stay on. It's not long at all.
It's 30 seconds, I think. Oops.
To Charlie, it felt like a lifetime, but yes,
it seems like a lifetime. Okay, hold on, Luis. Here we go.
Has he ever told me a lie?
Yeah.
He has, yes.
He's told you to lie?
Oh, I thought you said a lie.
Has Charlie ever told you to lie?
No, never.
No further questions.
Redirect.